Let's try this again. First off, sorry, I want to apologize about the lighting. I am too tired and too lazy to get up and move the lamp over so that it would fix the lighting situation. So I hope that you guys can just bear with me for this. And let's just get through this video. So, this is your first time here, hi, my name is Taquana Taylor. I am an author. I am aspiring to be a full-time author. That's what I want to do with my time. I want to be ingrained in the world of storytelling. I don't want to have to work, jobs that don't mean anything to me. I just want to make my living writing books. So that is what this channel is about. I am the author of the paranormal drama series, The Five Sisters. The first 3 books are currently available on Amazon. Book 4 will be coming very soon. It had to be postponed for a little bit. I am also starting on romances under a pen name, and I am redoing my contemporary book, The Hood Diaries, series of Hood Diaries that came out a couple years ago under a pen name as well. That series will be coming back as well. So let's get into this. So what I wanted to talk about in this video, when I first, before we do that, I have to address the elephant in the room. I apologize, you guys. I am exhausted. Work has started back up. So if I look like I'm slightly out of it, that's why. But I wanted to do this video and get it done. Anyways, on to what this video is about. So when I first started my career as an author, I made the decision to be indie published. I wasn't on Authortube. I think I discovered Authortube after I had already published my debut novel, Power, which is book 1 in the Five Sisters series. All I did pretty much was go onto Google and look up self-publishing. I came across CreateSpace. For those of you who are new to indie publishing, CreateSpace was a site that eventually, I believe, merged or went over to KDP. Excuse me. But CreateSpace was a site that you went on and you just uploaded your documents, your cover. I think it was fairly easy to use. Like, I had no training. I had no idea what I was doing. And I published my first book on there. And then I believe I was preparing to publish another one before it switched over to KDP. But yeah, so that is the background. I didn't know anything, you guys. YouTube is filled with indie authors now that give advice on the art of publishing as an indie author, the steps to take, all of the things that you should do, the pros and cons of different sites that are out there that aid writers in their journey and their career. I did not have access to that when I started, or I wasn't aware of it when I started. I pretty much went into this whole thing just blind of, I graduated a school, I got my degree, and I was like, what am I going to do with this degree? I really want to write. And I just have no knowledge of presenting this series as a television series. I don't like to talk about myself. Doing YouTube has always been, me trying to get out of my shell. I'm like, I would have to sell not only myself, but my work. I'm not that. So I was like, well, I'll do it as a book series. And that's where the Five Sisters came to be. Now, when I did this, like I said, I was a novice. I did nothing, and I pretty much was stubborn. I am stubborn. That's just who I am. I'm a Taurus. I'm stubborn. You can't tell us anything. But I told myself that, yeah, I got this. I thought I could create my own cover, even though I have absolutely no knowledge in the art of cover creation. I have a little bit more now just from actually looking at covers, because when I started this whole journey as a reader, I don't ever really focus on covers that much. Yeah, a cover will catch my eye, but I've never been a judge a book by its cover type of person. I will see a book and I'll be like, oh, I want this, and I'll buy it. Or 9 times out of 10, I will skim. I won't even read the entire description on the back. I will just skim like maybe keywords and things, because I just don't feel bothered to read the entire thing, and then I'll get the book. That is always how I've chosen my books. So when I decided to publish and I was like, well, I'm doing this for very minimal money and I want to make a cover myself. I wish I had a copy of the book that had that very first cover on it, because I would show you guys. Because when I first got it, I was like, oh, this is so great. And then looking back at it, I'm like, girl, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? So yeah, I created a cover, I uploaded a document, and then I went on about my business and I tried promoting it and all of that stuff. As time has gone by, I have realized the numerous mistakes that I've made doing that first book in the series. One of them I fixed, which was the cover. In case you guys weren't wondering, I don't have an image of what the first cover was, but we went through, I want to say 3 covers on that book before I settled on the final one, before I finally was like, girl, you cannot create this cover by yourself. You have no idea what you're doing. Get some money together and pay somebody. So I did, and then that's where this cover came from. This beauty right here. I absolutely love and adore this cover. I have gone back and forth on if I want to do a cover featuring people on it, maybe for another edition, like a hardcover. I'm undecided if I'm going to do that, but for now, we're going to stick with this baby right here. Mainly also because I can't think of any ideas that I would want for a cover that will feature people on it. I'm just looking at these covers. They look so different. Yeah, so that's what happened with that. The other thing that I did not do is editing. There was no real editing done on the book. That has since changed. I mentioned in another video that I was listening to the document and I'm noticing things that went past, and I'm not going to pay somebody to do it, the editing for that book, because that book has been out for 10 years now. Yeah, that book has been out for almost 10 years. So right now there's no point in me like hiring somebody to go over it, but I went through and I fixed it. I fixed it all up. I wasn't supposed to upload the new document that I fixed, but I got overexcited to try out KDP's Kindle Create option, which is where you upload your manuscripts and you can format it. I formatted it already, but you can format it, put it in there, and you get to look at the way it looks. You guys, it's a whole thing. I'm sorry if this video is all over the place, because I'm probably all over the place. But I had a few years ago discovered Draft to Digital by a YouTuber, an Authortuber, and I'm not saying that Draft to Digital is bad. It is probably 100% user error, but I could not get Draft to Digital to work. Like, the document just looked so funky. So anybody that has downloaded the Kindle version of Power, maybe even Revealed, because I honestly haven't looked at Revealed that much, but Power for sure, I know that they have gotten the absolute worst document ever. Like, that book is horrible. Well, what I did last night was I unpublished it, and then I created a whole new ebook for it, uploaded the new one. I was able to view it. It looks perfect. It finally went live early this morning, and I downloaded it on my phone to look at it to make sure that it looked the same way that it did on the KDP site, and it does. It looks great. So we're going there. But aside from the formatting of the ebook, we have to talk about the formatting of the paper book. So this is the formatting that was done on the paper book. Everything about this book is the same as it was when I hit publish on October 1st of 2014. The only thing that is different is the cover. That's the only thing that is different. But other than that, everything's the same. I very stubbornly thought that I could be different. I'm guessing is what I want to say. I thought I could be different, go against the grain, and all that jazz. Well, you guys, if you guys can see, this is the formatting of the inside of the book. Oh, that's probably not a great example, but if you look here. So if you see, the words are kind of big. There's these spaces between paragraphs. I thought I was doing something. And then, of course, when you do one book, you kind of want to make sure that when the books are sold and they're going to be on people's shelves, that they look uniform. So I felt it in my heart that I had to keep going, even though after publishing this, I had learned so much. I decided, oh no, but they all have to be uniform. Well, I have since decided to stop being so stubborn and fix it. So, introducing the second edition of the paperback cover, or paperback edition of Power. So what I've done is I've gone in, and as you guys can see, I have adjusted the formatting. It looks so much better. Granted, this book is now a lot thinner because of the way that this was formatted. That's fine. It is what it is. I'm not gonna complain about it, but I feel like this feels more right. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but this feels more right. I fixed the formatting of it, and not only that, you guys, but I also fixed the sizing. So you guys can see this book is a lot bigger. This book was 6x9. That's what I did for this. It was the very first option that came up on CreateSpace when I did it, and I thought that that made sense. I have since lined it up with a lot of my other books, and I've also lined this one up with a lot of my other books that I have. And as far as, now, books vary. They vary. I don't want anybody to think that you absolutely cannot do a paperback in 6x9. You can. I think I have some paperbacks that are about this size. But for this story, especially for the size of the story, because these books in the series are smaller books, they don't need to be this thick, this size works. So when I put this up against a lot of the paperbacks that I have, this size fits better. When I put this up against a lot of the hardcovers that I have, this size fits a lot better. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be going through the entire series. I don't really have to worry about book 4 because that one hasn't even been done yet. It's written, but it hasn't been put up on the site yet. So for the first 3 books in the series, I am going to make sure that the formatting on the inside is fixed. And then I'm also going to make sure that the size of the book is fixed. So this is just a proof copy that I did to see how I felt about the sizing after I redid the formatting. This still has a lot of errors in it that I need to put the new document that doesn't have the errors in it in here. So that's that. And I am contemplating doing a hardcover. Now, if I do a hardcover, the hardcover is going to be probably about this thin, but it'll be this size. Oh, sorry. It'll be this size. Now, I wanted to do, like I said, hardcovers with a different cover. I'm undecided as of right now. I think I'm still going to stick to this cover. I'm glad that we have the option of doing hardcovers now because that wasn't really a thing when I started. It was ebook and paperback, which is fine. You don't necessarily need to have a hardcover. I also want to apologize, you guys. My allergies are on 1,000. So if I sound like I'm sick and I'm congested, it's my allergies. I don't have a cold. It's literally just my allergies. But yeah, so this is that. So basically what I wish that I had done when I first published this beauty here is I wish that I would have focused more on the cover, because I have updated this cover a total of 4 times after settling on this. I wish I would have not been so stubborn, thinking that I can do all of this little like, oh, I can do a different type of formatting on the inside of the document. Like, girl, please. Girl, please. No, you can't. So I wish I would have just like stuck to tradition for that. I also wish that I had thought more about the size. Like I said, you guys, when I did this, I wrote it, I did a read through of it and fixed a few things, but I didn't fix most of it. I created a cover, I put it on the CreateSpace website, and I hit publish. That was that. So I wish I had focused on it a little bit more. Yeah, so that's what we've got going on with this. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about as far as my regrets when it came to publishing this book. I feel like because I didn't put the thought into it as I wanted, as it should have deserved, because I personally think that this is a good series. You guys just got to give it a chance. I feel like that's why a lot of people aren't giving it a chance, because of everything. Like, even when I tried to update the document for the ebook and I downloaded it on my phone, I've done this twice in this week. The first time I downloaded it on my phone after everything was up, and it was still showing me the old like formatting. So I was like, anybody that just downloaded this on using KU is getting the old book. So that's why I had to unpublish it. But if I had just done things the proper way, we would not have to be running this back multiple times. I have to do this change and the interior change, the ebook for power, revealed, and control. On top of that, I also have to do it for one shot, two shots in the first book in the Hood Diary series, because I'm bringing that series back. I'm going to republish that series. So yeah, I wish that I had taken the time. This was such a rush job when I put this out, because to be honest, my grandmother had passed away September 28th of 2013. And I was in my final couple semesters of school. And it was a very hard time for me to get through. And I just pushed through it, because I was like, she was so happy and so proud that I decided to go back to school. It didn't matter what the degree was. She was just very proud that I was going back and I wanted to finish. And then when I decided to actually sit down and write this story that had been in my mind for a while, I was adamant that it would be released around her birthday. It was supposed to be released on her birthday, but it went up a couple days after her death day anniversary, and a couple days before her birthday, because she died a week before her birthday. So it was supposed to go up, and it was important. This literally took 3 months to write and put up, and I didn't give it the due diligence that it needed. So I don't regret that this book is out there in the world. I don't regret that people have read it. I feel bad about the changes that I've made. And there are people who actually own this book, especially people who own physical copies of this book. I do feel bad that I have made changes on it, but I don't regret it, because this was a learning experience for me. This series means a lot to me. I absolutely love this series. My nephew has read the first 2 books in the series, I think, and he was over for the weekend, and we went through listening to it, and he got right back into it. He was like, I love it. And he's the type that he wants to know what's going to happen. And I didn't want to tell him, because I'm like, it's spoiler. You're reading the book. You can't do it. But he was like, TT, I'm going to forget. I'm going to forget. So I went over everything with him, and he was just like, oh my God, I love it. I love it. So I just need to actually sit down and write it. But yeah, we are getting some changes made on this. Another thing that I wanted to say, I don't know if you guys can tell, the color is different. This is lighter for some reason. The color on this is a lot lighter than this. I don't know what that's about, but whatever. It looks fine. Anyways, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is I had mentioned in a couple videos of making some changes within the series, because I was like, I really want to make these changes, and no one's going to tell me not to make these changes. Well, this right here is a learning experience to not be stubborn. I cannot do whatever I want just because I'm the author. I am the author, but it has to make sense. And I can't just go 4 books in and decide to change things. So one of the things that I said I was going to change was the POV. These books are done, and the series is done in 3rd person. And I said I was going to change it to 1st person. I'm going to keep it at 3rd person. I did poll a few people who read this, and they were like, keep it at 3rd person. So it will stay at 3rd person. Although when I was writing book 4, it was easier for me to write it in first person, it's going to be in third person. The other thing, I was going to make a characteristic change on one of the characters. I actually did that in book 4. I changed it, and then as I was reading, as I was listening through it, and as I was talking about it to my nephew who read it, he's a teenager, you guys, but I was talking about it with my nephew, and he didn't like the change. He didn't like the change. And then as I'm actually listening to it, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make sense to make that change. So it's going to stay, and that means I don't have to tell you guys what it is, except for my beta readers who read it. And if you read it and you're like, that sounded different, that could be why. But it's going to go back to what it was as mentioned in the first book. But yeah, so anyways, that is it. That is all I have for you guys. I can't talk anymore because I am just feeling all types of stuff. Like my allergies has me all stuffed up, and I know that I sound very cloggy in this area, and I don't have any allergy meds, so we have to suffer through. I'm going to end this video here. You guys, thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time here, hi, welcome to my channel. Again, my name is Taquanda Taylor. I am the author of the paranormal drama series, The Five Sisters. The first 3 books are available on Amazon right now. Book 4 is coming soon. I caution you as you go to purchase these books because there are changes that's going to be made, but for Power, the Kindle version is available for sale, $2.99, or it is in Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle Unlimited account, go ahead and download Power. It's book 1 and start there, and I will get the other ones fixed up for you guys and get those on to the site. And that's all I have for you guys. Subscribe if this is your first time here. If you guys are a returning viewer, a returning subscriber, a returning friend, thank you so much for stopping by and for always supporting me and for watching my videos from beginning to end, regardless of how chaotic it is and how much I'm all over the place. You guys drop me a comment below. I read your comments. I know I have not commented back in a couple videos, I think, but I will get back to you. So comment below, say what's up, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for coming here and sticking around for this and dealing with my nasalness and everything. I think that's all I have. I will see you guys in the next video, which I'm going to try to make it a vlog. Bye. Another thing that I wanted to talk about. I forgot what I wanted to talk about. I forgot what I wanted to talk about. Oh, what was I going to talk about? What was I going to talk? Oh my God, I don't know what I was going to talk about. I guess I should just end this video. What was I going to talk about? That is so weird. Anyways, guys, so yeah, that is what's going on with this series. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about.